You know, we all have our own thoughts about what? The spirit world, ghosts, goblins, whatever you may want to call them. Well, today, I've got a story for you that actually happened that just might change the way you think about the spirit world, ghosts, goblins, or what have you. Come on, let's take a walk and I'll tell you about it. We're here today at the D.D. Bartel Marine Center, and we're not far from Fort Clinch. Actually, over here, if we were to go around that point, you would see the fort. Back in the late 30s, the early 40s, folks would actually come to these woods and hog hunt. And what they were doing, they were actually hunting wild hogs. One day there was a guy by the name of George Roux, and he and two friends came out here hog hunting. Well, as they're back in the woods here, they come across this huge old oak tree. And as they looked up, they saw the remnants of rope hanging out of this huge limb. Now the legend is, if you ever find this tree and you find, you know that they lowered a treasure down here, but if you ever left it, you could never come back to it. Well, George told his two friends, he said, "I'll tell you what, I'll stay here. You two go get digging material, tools, axes, come back." They had roots to go through, they knew that. "And we'll see what's here." Well, they did. They left, took the same path they came in with. They came back with the tools. They had a probe. So they took the probe and they hit, and there was something solid. So they started digging. They uncovered a metal box. The story was told to me it was about 5.5, 6 feet long. It was about 24 inches wide, about 18 inches deep. But it was laying on its lid. It was almost like somebody had dug a hole, took this box and just rolled it into the hole, and it was on its lid. Problem was, they couldn't budge it. 3 grown men could not even lift one end of this box. So George, remembering if you ever left it, you can never come back to it, he said, "I'll stay with the box. You two go get block and tackle, come back, we'll get this thing out of the hole and we'll see what's in it." So they did. When they came back, same path. They couldn't find the tree, they couldn't find the hole, they couldn't find the box, and they couldn't find George. By now, afternoon is set in. Everybody's looking for George. They go back to town, they report it. They actually reported it to the authorities. They could not find George. The next morning, they found George at the foot of the South Jetties. And he was completely naked, completely nude, and cut all up. He had lacerations all over his body. He was in a coma. He was near death. They said the sand around him was absolutely pink where he had bled all night long. They take him to the hospital up on North 14th Street, and old Dr. Humphreys worked on him. Now George remained in a coma about a week. Well, when George came to, Everybody was asking him, you know, George, what happened? And this was his answer. He said, I want the judge here, I want the sheriff here, I want Dr. Humphreys here. He wanted some community leaders there. He said, I'm gonna tell you guys one time what happened. Don't you ever ask me again. He said, first of all, he said, I don't believe in ghosts, I don't believe in spirits. Never have. He said, but I'm telling you, a force came out of that box that I couldn't see. The last thing I remember was being drugged through the hammocks, the Spanish bayonet, the palmettos, the briars. My clothes got ripped off. I don't remember anything after that. You people tell me I've been here in this hospital now for a week. Don't you ever ask me again. The last time that I know of someone knowing George and saw George was Captain Earl. And he was in Tampa, Florida in the 70s. And George was working, I think it was the Gulf Oil Dock or the Standard Oil Dock in Tampa. And it was hot weather, he had his shirt off. And Earl said you could see the scars still then all over his body. Now that actually happened, folks, right here on this island. To my knowledge, the tree's never been found. So if you ever find yourself out in these woods, you might want to keep an eye peeled up top when you get around an old oak tree. You never know what you might find. But you might want to have somebody there with a camera to document what you're getting ready to get into. Maybe this has changed the way you think about spirit world, the way you think about ghosts, the way you think about goblins. I don't know. As for me, if I found the tree with the rope hanging out of it, I'd probably dig, but I'd have a lot of folks there with me. I hope you've enjoyed the story.